how do you hit a third shot? Do you drop it? Do you drive it? Have you even heard these words before? If you haven't, you're in the right place. There's a lot of strategy packed into this, so make sure you stay tuned, watch to the end, because you're not gonna miss any single part of this. But for now, we're talking about the third shot. Let's get right to it. This is probably one of my most favorite shots in pickleball. In order for you to be in this situation, your team would be serving. So you would serve, that's the first shot, obviously. Second shot is the return, which would be the opposing team. Now they've hit the ball back to you and you have options. The two types of shots are a drive and a drop. Let's talk about them. So notice what I'm doing here on this drive. See, that would have been out, but a drive is exactly what it sounds like. You're just driving that ball as hard as you can to the other side, but try to keep it in bounds, unlike me. Oh, that's low. That was a good low drive there. So that's a drive. I think everybody pretty much understands that. That's pretty much everybody comes out doing when they first start. It's just a hit. You're just hitting that ball right back at them. Usually at their body, you're just pow. Trying to keep it in bounds though, that's the hard part. Most of the time you're playing against beginners or even intermediate players. If you hit it right at them, they just react and they hit it. So even if it's going out of bounds, you can get away with it. A drop is when you hit that ball, it goes over the net and lands in the kitchen here. That is a very hard shot to hit because it takes a lot of finesse, a lot of touch. You have to hit it just right where it just goes over that net, lands in the kitchen. And the reason why you want to hit this is because it gives you time. Usually it's kind of slower, a little bit lofty. That will give you time once you hit that third shot, because remember, you served, they've returning, you have to let that ball bounce. So you're going to be back there at the back of the court regardless. Say Abby's dropping over the net here. That gives her time. They're already approaching it over here. That'll give her time to get to the net. So serve. I'm ready for my hit. Boom. Perfect. As I hit that drop, it's taking its time. The whole time I'm just chasing that ball up to the net. I'm just chasing it, chasing it, chasing it. Abby, you think you can drop? All right, I'm gonna go over here. She serves it to me. I'm hitting a return. Your goal is to drop and get to the net. Perfect, wow. I'm just trying to put it right there at you. Perfect, boom, perfect drop. Beautiful. I'm gonna say I'm the left player. My partner has served to there. They've decided to return to me. They're trying to go my backhand. That gives me a perfect opportunity. You have a couple different placement options. If we're serving, that player is already gonna be up. So you can go cross court to their backhand, which is difficult. Very difficult to drop that in there because you only got so much court to work with that direction. I would recommend if you're over here in your backhand, drop it straight in front of you, get up, because that player in front of you is gonna have to get it. And that gives you, you're contained everything right here in front of you. Now that's for a drop. Also, same scenario, if you want to drive, you could drive into them because your team has just served, they've let it bounce, they're going to be running up. They're running up, I recommend a drive right at their chest or belly, probably their belly, you want to keep it low. If you hit it right at them, boom. If it's coming right through here and they're running up, I can imagine that's going to lead to a lot of fear and a lot of paddle confusion in the middle, especially if you hit it right at their belly button. Singles, so you would have served from over here, you got to the middle of the court, they were turning the ball. Now you have a plethora of opportunity and it's going to depend heavily on what the other player is doing. Most likely they're approaching. So I would recommend probably 80% of the time go to their backhand always, whether drive or drop. If somebody's moving toward that net and they're trying to transition up, drive it at them every single time. Hit them in the body but low. That works 95% of the time. If you're gonna drop, I recommend to a player's backhand, whether it's the player running up or the player who's already over there. Okay, now we're gonna show Abby the technique of this. We talked about the return. That was essentially a drive shot. Same concept, square that bounce up, rip it. That's easy, everybody gets that. The drop technique is a little bit different and it depends on forehand, backhand. The setup's the same. You always want to be where that ball is right here and you're dealing with it in your eyesight. That's usually the best case scenario. You can push through, go, push through, go. Now, what I do on my backhand, the reason why I talk about my backhand because that's better at dropping for me. I'm a left-handed baseball hitter, so that's why that's better. I'd recommend hitting up on that ball. Getting under it, up, top spin helps it hook over and go down. So that's why my drops are terrible, because I'm not doing that. I'm always angling that paddle back and then it's just going to the sky. I recommend down, up, bend at the knees, up, bend at the knees, up. And it kind of takes a little bit of finesse, which obviously Abby was better at than I was, but that's essentially how you do it. Abby, do you want to try a backhanded drop?
Yeah.
So that's my 2 recommendations. Bend those knees, get under the ball, and then, yeah, that was a drop. That was perfect. So that's exactly how you hit a drop. It's very difficult. I recommend a lot of practice. Focus on getting those knees bent, eyes, head on that ball when you first start doing it, because it's gonna take a lot of practice. I still do not have the shot down, but that is how you hit a 3rd shot. If that helps you understand the 3rd shot in pickleball, make sure you like, subscribe, comment. If you missed last 2 weeks' videos, I talked about the serve, the return. Make sure you check those out. But for now, we'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching.